Along with Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight we'll see the Miami Heat playing against the Houston Rockets. And for Houston, they have to be pleased with the way things have gone for them this season, winning 3 of their first 4 games. They've been a confident-looking team since the end of the preseason. Shaq, you could say that with Dwayne Wade kind of hampered by injuries, that Chris Bosh is their most important player in Miami.
Yes, he gets a chance to shoot the ball more. He can play 4 or 5, not your traditional 5. He doesn't like to play inside, but when he's hot from the outside, he's hard to stop.
Game's about to tip off. It's time to check in with Kevin Harlan. Kevin?
It's game time here in Miami as the crowds at the American Airlines Arena look to cheer on the hometown Heat. The Houston Rockets coming to this one after a win against the 76ers in Philadelphia. And just a 2-point win there. They had to fight tooth and nail for it.
And I think, Kevin, it really showed how important it is to have a strong bench performance. You go out on the road, you can't rely on your starters night in and night out. The reserves have to contribute and help them out.
I think we definitely saw that, Steve, throughout the game. They were really tied together as a team. Didn't make any difference who was out on the floor. You'll take every road game win you can, and they're happy with that one.
Here's the starting group for Houston. Terrence Jones is down low with Howard. Johnson is out there with Patrick Beverley. And it's Ariza in at the 3 spot. Now here's Beverley. Ariza has the open look. Misfires after coming off the pick.
Trevor Ariza showing increasing comfort with his outside shot. It really makes him a two-way player because he's always been a presence defensively. Long and athletic, able to guard multiple positions.
Here's Wade. Here's Dang. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Dang's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And Beverley gets to Ariza. On the wing, Johnson. This one for 3. The rebound by McRoberts. And for Ariza, Clark, a great rebound. And we know he's a ball hawk defensive.
Yeah, he really is, Kevin. He gets his steals, but doesn't pick up cheap fouls. I mean, he stays in good defensive position and picks his spots. And I think he does a good job of studying his opponent's tendencies. And don't forget, he's an underrated passer, too. This guy has a pretty solid all-around game to him.
Houston's glad they've got him.
I bet.
Now, here's Beverley. Howard with a screen on Wade. Howard in the post. He's covered by Bosh. No good from Howard. And here's Miami. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
Well, Kevin, they constructed a perfect offensive game plan going into that game, and it was quickly apparent how powerless the defense was to stop it.
Powerless is a good way to put it, Steve. We're unlikely to see that many uncontested baskets again anytime soon.
The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. Howard setting the pick for Johnson. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Well, he wasn't fazed at all by the bigger man on him, and on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
Well, the way Wade played early on his career, guys, how aggressively he attacked the rim and sacrificed his body, you knew that kind of play style would not last. And so, Steve, it looks like maybe he's adjusted a bit.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Kevin. He's become more cerebral. He's also, in terms of attacking the rim, doesn't happen as frequently, but he picks his spots.
And the first one at the line is good.
And with Wade still getting to the hoop, a lot of it, as you said, comes from his ability to keep defenders guessing with that really remarkable pump fake. I don't know if I've seen a player, certainly in the last 20 years, master the pump fake the way Dwayne Wade has. It's hard not to go for it.
And both free throws good for Wade.
And Wade really has one of the best pump fakes in the game right now, perhaps one of the best in league history. Defenders keep biting on it, even knowing how he likes to get in the lane.
Now here's Johnson. Jones gets to Ariza. Dishes it to Howard. And the shot is long. Miami leading by 5. Cole dishes to Wade. There's a screen. Here's Dang. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. This, of course, their first chance to play Miami this season.
You know, in terms of playing against somebody in the opposite conference, it doesn't get much better. In fact, it's too bad these clubs only play each other twice.
Johnson goes in. On the wing, Jones. Back to Johnson. 5 to shoot. Here's Ariza. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Steve referring to last year's game moments ago about two beauties. In those 2 games last year, they settled to a split decision, each team winning once.
You know, my guess is it's going to be hard to tell these teams apart. They're both still very, very potent.
He's off on the first. The Heat came into last season looking to three-peat, and anything less would have been a disappointment.
Yeah, well, you could see that they were focusing on the playoffs last year. The Bobcats didn't really stand a chance against them in round 1. It was easy pickings for the Heat.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Anderson, he's checked in for Bosch. Granger comes in for Josh McRoberts. Napier, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Chalmers in for Cole.
Well, to get back to the Heat last year, a lot of teams in the conference didn't really look to be in the same ballpark as Miami in terms of playoff hunger.
Here's Napier. Good on the triple. Napier's got himself on the board with 3 there.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Rockets trail by 7. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Here's Big Daddy. It's Ariza on the wing. And right away, they match it with a 3-pointer of their own.
This is great. 3-pointers going down quickly at both ends.
Yeah, it took them no time to answer back on that possession.
Chalmers with it. Granger right side. Plenty of space. And there's another one for the Heat.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. It's the Heat leading by 6. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter.
Monday, November 10th. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors take on Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers. Do not.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to get going once again. Hey, during the break, players getting a chance to refuel and hydrate with some Gatorade as there is more basketball in store. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Miami, guys.
And a good start for this club. I like the way they played together, really moved the ball and did a nice job offensively.
Yeah, excellent ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard, too.
Taking a look at the Rockets, we've got Jeff Adrian. Cannon out there with Big Daddy. Then there's Howard. And it's Daniels in at the 3 slot. Granger with the screen for Dang. He feeds it to Chalmers. 6 to shoot. Granger against Howard. Again, the Heat good for 2. Here's Canaan. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
You know, it's really been this way for a few years when you look at the Rockets. They have been fantastic at getting to the line, and I think it caught a lot of teams in the East off guard last season.
From past the arc. That's in, and the Miami lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Daniels.
After digging themselves that hole in the first quarter, this club is starting to shoot the ball much better now.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it takes a little while to work out the knots. I mean, they're starting to put it together.
Granger with the screen for Chalmers. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Rockets ball.
Well, the Rockets did well against the Eastern Conference last year, as you might expect. 23 wins out of 30 games. And getting to the line, Steve, was a part of it.
Yeah, in fact, they averaged just under 30 trips to the foul line against the Eastern Conference teams. So, it's tough to lose when you get so many easy points against your opponent.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Chris Bosh is checked in for Anderson. Josh McRoberts comes in for Luol Deng. Dwayne Wade's checked in for Napier. And Cole subbed in for Mario Chalmers. Here's Cole. Defended by Beverly. The dish to Granger. Deflects the pass. And it's out of bounds to the Heat as Miami retains possession. Right now, let's bring up the 2K leaderboard and see the teams that really knew how to clog the passing lanes last season. The Heat in second.
You could tell by watching them just how focused they were at the defensive end of the court.
We're closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. Wade passes to McRoberts. Just 5 on the clock. To the right side. Cole. His three-pointers off the mark.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
No, that's for sure, because this guy's too good of a shooter to miss that look consistently.
And Beverly kicks to Daniels. To the middle. Here's Adrian. No luck. And Miami the other way now. Here's Cole. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Granger outside. There's the pass to Cole. Back to Granger. And that one hits back iron.
One thing you have to give Coach Erik Spoelstra credit for is he's not wedded to just one approach. I like his ability to be flexible. You remember after the 2011 finals, for example, he really went back to the drawing board and changed Miami's offense to their small ball approach, but also wanted to get LeBron inside more. The result has been a couple of championship rings.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. You talk about Coach Spoelstra staying open to new ideas. He spent time in the summer studying football coaches and their techniques.
Yeah, kind of an interdisciplinary interest in greatness. And, that's what goes into building a champion. Spoelstra, very intense and focused, always trying to find an edge, even if he has to kind of step outside the box a little bit.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Daniels, and it's Johnson in for Big Daddy. Granger up top. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Now here's Wade against New Orleans, who is really on his game.
Not only is the game neck and tight, but the rebounding battle is too. Extremely close on the boards.
Yeah, both teams have really put in a terrific effort down low.
36 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Beverly. And that misses. That would have put him up. The Heat have gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. Granger misses. The Rockets trail. Pass to Beverly. Back to Ariza. Shot off the screen, and he knocks down the jumper. Ariza's got 6 points.
And that's why teams emphasize the use of screens and picks, just to get you some open looks like that one.
And we're through 2 here and a good one. Rockets ahead. They storm through the end of the quarter on a 9-0 run. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Kevin, I've got Coach Erik Spoelstra here with me. And, Coach, what are the things you're seeing so far in this game that you'd like to change going forward?
It starts with getting some stops. We've got to play off some misses, and we can't let them force us into 1 or 0 pass possessions. We've got to move the ball 1.5 court, help each other with that, but we'd like to get some more in the open.
Erik, thank you so much. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. And, folks, don't go away after the break. We'll see you right back here for the start of the second half in the third quarter. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Without question, Trevor Ariza displaying his skills today.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just the little things that make all the difference. He's been terrific in so many areas out there.
You know, the numbers don't necessarily jump out at you, but he's really making his presence felt out there with everything he's doing.
On the perimeter, Wade and Dang. McRoberts at the 4 with Bosch at center. And it's Cole in at the 1 spot. That's the group on the floor for Miami. He dishes it to Wade. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
D-Wade draws a ton of attention for his explosive offensive talent. But people tend to forget what an impact player he is in other facets of the game as well. I mean, he gives you rebounds, assists, steals, block shots. I think it's his all-around game that has him assured of being a first-ballot Hall of Famer.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. No good on that one.
And Wade with long arms, athleticism, great timing, one of the all-time great shot blockers among guards. In fact, for his career, averaging about a block a game to go with 2 steals as well. So a terrific nose for the ball.
He hits the second from the line. And Wade, a very good one-on-one defender, but the Heat have the luxury of often putting him off the top scorers on the other side.
Yeah, and with Luol Deng, who can guard the point of attack, now Wade almost can operate like a free safety, using his speed to pick off passes or stuff a driver at the rim.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch.
Passes to Cole. Wade kicks to Dang. Looks for Bosch, gets it to him. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That's on Dwight Howard.
Well, 2 seasons ago, the Heat were rolling. They won a franchise record 66 games. 27 of those came consecutively. Last season, they managed the regular season. They knew they had to pace themselves in an effort to try to win a 3rd straight championship.
No good on the free throw. And last season, I'd say, guys, the Heat more or less just conceded that #1 seed to the Pacers.
Yeah, almost like a marathon runner. You know, they just didn't want to burn out early, so they just kind of found their pace throughout the season. And they weren't worried too much about the home seed. They were concerned more with their own health. And I thought Eric Spoelstra handled all of those dynamics perfectly.
And he's good on the second.
The Rockets, of course, at the forefront or vanguard as far as advanced analytics go. Some in the NBA have stopped, but hey, they're doing something right.
Here's Cole. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And it's Wade penetrating. He used that pick to get in close. And the Heat lead by 1.
Well, that's one way to get your second half started on the right foot. An easy layup against some soft defense.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game. And as you guys know, the Rockets at the forefront technology-wise, too. You see coaches with electronic tablets.
Well, they installed flat-screen monitors in the locker room, highlighting stats and videos for players. So, you know, they're trying to close the loop and create that line of communication between the numbers crunchers and the players themselves.
And for Houston, their shooting has been terrific. 54% on the game. Beverly dishes to Jones. Just over a minute and a half played here in the 3rd. Here's Beverly. Hits the 3-point bomb. Beverly's got the lead up to 2 now for Houston.
You can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
And the Heat call time here.
You know, there's always a little hesitation with newly formed star-loaded teams, and you wondered if the Rockets would click early last year. They did, and ended up with the 4 seed out west.
A different look for Miami. Anderson comes in for Josh McRoberts, and it's Chalmers in for Cole. Big Daddy's checked in for Houston. The Heat shooting with confidence, 50% from the field so far. Anderson, a screen on Johnson. And, yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
And a lot of contact right there. I think the officials are making the correct call here. And this sort of call, of course, always about protecting the players. You can't allow unnecessary contact. And sometimes the players let the emotion get the best of them. And you make a foul like that, it's going to be enforced every time.
You know, Steve, I don't think many people would disagree with the stance that it's a very important objective to make sure everything is done to limit any sort of unnecessary contact. And he sinks the second.
Rockets made it in as the 4th seed last year, but still couldn't find a way past Portland in the first round. Ended up falling to them in 6 games.
Isaiah Cannon, he's checked in for Houston. Wade on the wing. 6 points for him. Back to Chalmers. On the wing, Dang. And there's the feed to Anderson. Clock at 6. Dang against Ariza. Dang can't get it to go. Really, though, it was the start of that series that sunk the Rockets as they dropped the first 2. They fought back, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, they couldn't overcome that poor start, Kevin. They did fight back, and it looked like a Game 7 was on the way, but then Damian Lillard, with one of the great shots in NBA playoff history, closed things out in dramatic fashion.
Brought you right out of your chair, didn't
Oh,
it?
big
Wow.
time. That was a great, great shot he made.
Wade passes to Dang. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, I think you got to foul them, and free throws are better than a layup.
Well, Luol Deng was supposed to have a lot more help in Chicago as they got healthy, but injuries struck once again, and they were forced to ship Deng off to help in the next rebuilding project. First time Deng has ever played in a different uniform.
And Luol Deng, Clark, one of only 5 Bulls in history to play in a 10th year with the team, the 4th leading scorer in their franchise's history.
And Kevin, Coach Thibodeau called him the glue of the team, the Velcro guy. But despite everything he meant to the organization, his free agency weighed heavily. He refused a significant extension offer, so they felt they had to go in a different direction.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, we all know James Harden, one of the league's leading scorers at the free throw line. Coach McHale has said when he's able to play downhill before the defense gets set, he's just a handful. He's a great finisher, a great free throw shooter, and he's got a knack for getting fouled. Guys, Harden is fast, strong, and so sneaky with that sweep-through move.
He lives at the line, Doris. Thanks. Cannon gets to Ariza. And some nice passing there by Houston. Sparks passes to Howard. And he's going up for the alley-oop. It's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession.
Maybe a low percentage pass, but it still nearly got through.
I like it, though. I mean, it's an aggressive play. Heads up defending to deflect it away.
There's 42 seconds left to play in the 3rd. Pass to Sparks. Top of the key, Ariza. Kicks to Adrian. Anderson against Howard. Ariza dishes to Howard. Back to Ariza. 6 to shoot. And Granger comes over to help. Adrian kicks to Ariza. The Rockets with another miss. And here's Anderson. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Here's Napier. A second chance effort. And Anderson gets it to go. And the Heat lead by 5.
Giving them an opportunity at second chance points with some hard work on the glass there.
And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Heat lead by 5. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports.
The the NBA season gains momentum. LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers take on David West and the Indiana Pacers. Live this Friday night.
Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
How about the creativity, guys? Terrific vision to pick out that pass and set up the basket.
Some serious creativity. Rockets trail by 5, and so in the game for the Rockets. Terrence Jones is down low with Howard. Johnson is out there with Patrick Beverly, and it's Ariza in at the small forward spot. Johnson, the pass to Howard, feeds it to Beverly. Just 5 to shoot. Back to Howard. From down in the low post, it goes. Howard's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Rockets. The Heat leading by 3. Here's Cole. He kicks to Wade. In the corner, Granger with it. Here's Cole. Bullseye. Houston's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Dishes to Howard. Second chance shot, and the layup is good.
Love the way he fought for that putback. You know, he's willing to put in a lot of hard work in this game, no doubt about that.
Now a timeout called by Miami.
You can tell he's in a lot of pain. They'll take a timeout so that trainer can help him out.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. With the game hanging in the balance, he tried to give his players some added motivation, saying, quote, "This is the time, guys, right now. Be in this moment. Do your job, and we'll get the win." Back to you.
Cole dishes to Wade. Here's Bosch. That one rolling around and rims out. Rockets trail by 3. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. The dish to Ariza. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. And the Heat shooting with confidence, 50% from the field so far. It's Bosch, that time on the assist by Wade. And the Heat lead by 5.
You know, when he's in that tight with that kind of height advantage over the defender, that's going to be a pretty easy play for him.
Timeout called the Rockets.
Yeah, he definitely saw some things that were not working for them out there, and now he's going to make some adjustments.
I'm not sure what it was, but he clearly wanted something to change out there.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Stolen away. And here we go. Wade heading to the hoop.
That very well may put the finishing touch on this one. Not at all the time to get sloppy with the basketball.
How about the killer instinct part? Not running the clock out, but pushing it ahead and tacking points onto their lead.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Kevin McHale coaching his team during that break. He made no mistake that Dwight Howard has got to be the focal point of their offense. Coach stressed the importance of getting the ball in his hands as soon as possible at the start of their possessions. No question he's going to be the key guy for them offensively. It's pretty late in the game to be altering the game plan, but they're going to come out with a different look here, guys. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Johnson against Granger. Ariza outside. Howard misses.
Solid rebound there. And with the score like it is, that's an area they just can't afford to get lazy with.
You know, I think the effort's been there, Steve, but they're still getting outworked just by a skosh.
Bosch kicks to Granger. Miami no good on that time either.
Nobody anywhere close to him. Where's the defense? He's got to make that shot, though.
Here's Beverly. Bosch grabs the miss.
You know, that's a problem he has. I mean, not being able to knock down that open jumper. I think it happens far too often.
30 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Shot clock at 6. And here's Wade. Again, the miss by the Heat.
And this game is finally getting away from them.
Yep, it has gotten away. There's not really anything they can do now.
Johnson, good.
Yeah, and he had to get that shot off quickly because the defense was all over him.
Yeah, that's the key, Steve. The quick trigger. Any hesitation, and that shot gets blocked.
Smart foul there. You've got to try to extend the game.
Yeah, it's still close, but they're fighting that clock as much as the score right now.
And they go to the intentional foul.
That's his third personal foul. Second team foul. Wow, dang. 2.
And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And the second of 2 is good. That puts them up by 5. Now a timeout called by Houston. They trailed by 5. 9 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
And this one is far from over. If they can get a quick score here and then a fast foul as well.
Tell you what, free throws become tougher with the game on the line, so a few missed ones here, and they could get right back in it.
Nine seconds left to play here in the fourth. He's off from 3, and so they choose to intentionally foul.
That's his third personal foul. Third team foul. Chris Bosch. 2.
He drops the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one. And so it's Miami winning this one. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Chris, a nice win in the first of the back-to-back, but what's on your mind with the game tomorrow against a very tough opponent?
Well, I mean, we're here at another tough part in the schedule. You know, we have a very tough challenge tomorrow, especially with a back-to-back. So we're at the part of the schedule where everybody has, but we're going to have to continue to pick it up and hopefully get a W tomorrow.
Chris, thank you. Kevin, there are no breaks in an NBA schedule.
Thank you, Doris, for that. And now for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan saying, see you next time, as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Dwayne Wade.